LG Energy Solution and Hyundai Motor Group have announced a collaboration to build a $4.3 billion electric vehicle battery plant in the United States. The plan aims to achieve a yearly production capacity of gigawatt-hours, which can power approximately 300,000 EVs in North America. Moreover, it will open jobs for more than 3,000 people. These numbers may make you wonder what made them dare to make that decision. Welcome to Evolutionary. Join us today to find out more about the collaboration between LG and Hyundai so you don't miss out. $4.3 billion electric battery plant. Just recently, Hyundai and LG announced that they will build a $4.3 billion electric battery plant as part of Hyundai's new electric vehicle assembly plant in southeast Georgia, west of Savannah. With an investment of $4.3 billion, Hyundai Motor Group and LG ES will each hold a 50% stake in the project. The largest manufacturer in South Korea, Hyundai Motor Group, said that its 3 affiliates will contribute a total of $1.12 billion to the joint venture. Hyundai Mobis Co. and Kia Corp. will each contribute $223.6 million and $341 million, respectively, while Hyundai Motor will provide $553.4 million. According to LG Energy, its U.S. subsidiary LG Energy Solution Michigan Incorporated will invest $1.11 billion to acquire a 50% stake in the joint venture. Only half of the JV's $5.7 trillion in cash was contributed by Hyundai and LG. According to the corporations, the JV will borrow money to pay for the remaining half. By the end of 2028, the investment and finance will be finished. The battery plant, according to Hyundai CEO Jae-hoon Chang, will create a strong foundation to lead the global EV transition, he said in his statement. He said that the business aims to accelerate efforts to develop electrified Hyundai and Kia vehicles in North America. Hyundai Motor Group is focusing on its electrification efforts to secure a leadership position in the global auto industry, Chang said. The South Korean carmaker announced that it would spend $5.5 billion in Ellabelle, Georgia, to assemble electric vehicles and batteries. The factory is expected to employ 8,100 people and start car production in 2025. Republican Governor Brian Kemp's spokesperson Garrison Douglas stated that the 3,000 employment at the battery facility will be included in the 8,100 total jobs, and the $4.3 billion investment would be included in the $5.5 billion total. The adjacent car assembly factory's first estimated production of 300,000 electric vehicles per year is expected to be met by the batteries produced by the Hyundai LG plant. According to Hyundai, the Georgia plant could eventually increase production to 500,000 vehicles annually. They really boost their production to be at the forefront. Along with the assembly and battery plants, auto parts suppliers have committed to spending over $2 billion and employing 4,800 locals in the area surrounding the Hyundai facility. The announcements are part of a nationwide land rush for batteries and electric vehicles. To be eligible for the entire $7,500 EV tax credit under the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act, EVs must be constructed in North America, and a specific percentage of their battery components and minerals must originate in North America or a U.S. free trade partner. However, at this time, no Hyundai or Kia vehicles qualify for the tax credit. More about the IRA will be discussed later in this video. Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia stated in a statement that the IRA's manufacturing incentives continue to bring jobs and investment to Georgia. I still want Georgia to lead the world in producing sophisticated energy. According to LG, this will be the 8th battery factory it has built or is planning to build in the United States. This is just one illustration of how federal incentives are enticing businesses to locate operations here. This is the second sizable electric battery factory that Hyundai is constructing in Georgia with a partner. A new plant will be built northwest of Atlanta by Hyundai and SK Alon, a division of South Korea's SK Group, with a $4 billion to $5 billion investment. This plant would produce electric batteries for Hyundai and Kia electric vehicles that are produced in the United States. This Cartersville factory is expected to start operating in 2025 and will have a projected 3,500 employees. Hyundai will require batteries for more than simply Ellabelle-built automobiles. The firm started constructing its electric Kia EV9 big SUV at the Kia facility in West Point, Georgia, in April. The company is already assembling electric vehicles at its plant in Montgomery, Alabama. Georgia's state and local governments have already committed to providing tax rebates and other incentives totaling $1.8 billion. According to Greg Leroy, executive director of Good Jobs First, an organization that is wary of subsidies to private corporations, it is the largest subsidy package a U.S. state has ever provided an automobile company. Inflation Reduction Act. For those of you who might not know about the Inflation Reduction Act applied in the U.S., we'll tell you what it is about in brief. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 offers consumers and businesses who buy electric vehicles a variety of tax credit choices. Individual buyers of new qualified EVs between now and 2032 are eligible for a tax credit of up to $7,500. But there are certain restrictions on these credits. To be qualified for the full tax credit, the bought car or vehicles must satisfy two requirements. First, the battery of the vehicle shall have a minimum percentage of parts manufactured or assembled in North America. Starting at 50% in 2023, the needed amount rises by 10% annually until it reaches 100% in 2029. The next requirement is that all crucial minerals, including aluminum, cobalt, lithium, nickel, and graphite, must be mined, processed, produced, and assembled in the United States or a nation that has a free trade agreement with the United States. Localized mineral sourcing as a proportion starts at 40% in 2023 and increases by 10% a year, reaching 80% after 2026. What does this mean for battery production in North America? The Inflation Reduction Act tax credits goals include boosting the U.S. economy, placing the U.S. as a serious competitor to China in the battery manufacturing industry, and speeding up the sales of battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid automobiles. Local automakers won't be only ones required to source battery parts locally. Foreign automakers with significant US-based sales, like Volkswagen, Mercedes, Toyota, and Hyundai, will also need to move their supply chains from Europe and Asia to North America in order to compete in the market and benefit from the tax incentive. With only a small amount of battery production capacity in North America and almost all battery supply chains now passing through China, this move presents a huge potential for firms who can establish themselves fast in the North American supply chain. This is the atmosphere in which automotive companies with the correct approach may benefit from the shifting sands and instantly become a huge household name. Hyundai LG battery partnership in Indonesia. This is not the first Hyundai LG battery JV partnering. Following a $1.1 billion project in Indonesia, Hyundai and LG started construction on a combined battery factory at Karawang New Industry City, close to Jakarta, in 2021. The plant will start commercial production in the first half of 2024 and have an annual capacity of 10 gigawatt-hour of battery cells, which is sufficient for more than 150,000 EVs. Hyundai and LG Energy have long collaborated on the electrification of vehicles. When Hyundai released the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid, its first electrified vehicle in 2009, it marked the beginning of their collaboration. The Kona EV and the Ioniq 6 are currently powered by LG batteries, whereas the Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, EV6, EV9, GV60, and GV70 versions are powered by SK on batteries. The Joe Biden administration's target of 40 to 50% zero-emission car sales in the U.S. by 2030 is consistent with Hyundai's EV drive. By 2030, Hyundai and Kia hope to sell 3.64 million completely electric cars yearly worldwide, with more than 1 million of those sales, or 30% of the total, taking place in the U.S. market. The takeaway. The new Inflation Reduction Act supports the development of EVs by providing incentives of up to $7,500. The existing conditions are aimed at advancing the U.S. economy. On the other hand, leading automakers want to take advantage of this opportunity to be able to compete better in a market. One of them is the existence of a joint venture from LG and Hyundai, which is investing heavily to open a battery plant in the U.S. Maybe right now the vehicle still doesn't get incentives, but who knows in the future. What do you think about their collaboration in opening a big battery plant in the US? Share with us in the comments section below. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more EVs updates.